Listen, I've never had any problem expressing my opinions, but what we're doing here is bigger than that. These are conversations that need to be had in an unfiltered way. Drag racing's all I've ever done. It's all I care to do. I respect the history, I appreciate how far we've come, but I want more for this sport, and I'll fight for it. It's uncut, it's unfiltered. This is the show of shows. The biggest names in drag racing. No holds barred. This is the great American motorsport. Drag racing. Prove me wrong. I'll wait. Hey gang, Wes Buck here, Drag Illustrated Magazine, checking in. It is Wednesday, March 11th, 2026. Gosh, is that right? JT, I'm supposed to be solo screened right now.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying something new.
We're trying something different here.
I have once again failed at my job, you know.
Oh, anyways, well, hey, gang, thank you guys for joining us here as we dive into all the latest and greatest when it comes to drag racing. We got a ton of cool things going on today. In about a half hour, we will be joined by the man, the myth, the legend, the reigning, defending Drag Illustrated Winter Series presented by Redline Oil J&A Service World Champion, the one and only Peter Norton. Then we will check in about 3 o'clock Central Standard Time with Chad Green, fresh off back-to-back wins at the NHRA Gator Nationals. And what a weekend it was in the sport of drag racing. What a couple of weeks it was. I mean, I had some conversations recently, guys, and I want to dive into this straight away because it's fun to talk about. I was having some late night conversations with Brett Kepner, our in-house Drag Illustrated statistician, who was adamant, and I do not have the ability to argue with him about, a lot of these things that he is.
Most people don't.
No.
Most people don't have that ability to argue with Brett.
Most people do not. He basically said that the NHRA Gator Nationals this past weekend at Gainesville Raceway in Florida represented the largest crowd of human beings ever assembled at a drag race in the history of the world. We're talking a really big number. I know that a lot of people are really hesitant, to talk about, but I'm just going to throw this out there. I think the crowd across 3 days was north of 60,000 people, guys. And
why does it keep climbing year over year?
Well, we've been down in Florida
because it's always going to be
drag racing for a couple of years now.
No. I'm saying it's always it's a sellout, right? Always, and it's always Gainesville. And I don't know that they've added any more seats. So I don't know. I mean, that's my only question as to how is it more than last year. Maybe you're talking about over 3 days, right? And maybe all 3 days had higher numbers instead of just that one Saturday sellout day. So maybe that's it.
Dude, to be honest with you, for all the years that we have gone to the Gator Nationals as a group, I've missed it. I missed it this year, but that is a part of the country that just seems to be really proud of their racing heritage. They're serious about their fandom. We've talked about this before, but it's so cool to be in that Gainesville area and pop in to a restaurant and they know exactly what all those black t-shirts in town means. They know that means the drag racers are here. Every place is opening their arms to this racing community. And I think it just continues. That type of energy and excitement is infectious. It absolutely is. I think Gainesville is a beautiful facility. It's hard not to want to be in Florida. This time of the year, it's still cold in a lot of places, around the country. Hell, it's 40-something degrees up in JT's neck of the woods today. So, I mean, it's 38. So it's not at all surprising, that guys, people are willing to travel to be in that environment. And I'll tell you, dude, I think these destination type of events where you kind of get the local support system, but you also get this entire world of people that are willing to travel because it is a destination. I think there's some magic to that. I mean, do you know what I mean? Where a guy can go, hey, we're going to go down there for spring break. I'm going to go to the races for a couple of days. Honey, you take the kids and go to Disney or go to wherever, do something, shopping, whatever, go to the beach, go shopping. I really think that plays into it a lot. And if you look around, it's interesting. The NHRA, seems to get, last year they had a tremendous number of, really great turnout events. I mean, this is something that's becoming fairly commonplace. I mean, it felt like we were promoting a sellout on multiple occasions last week. But I think we can look at our own events, the Drag Illustrated Winter Series, and a constantly increasing fan turnout across 3 events. And again, I think that speaks to the magic that happens when you've got a really strong local support system, but you also have a destination event with legacy history around it, a lot of pomp and circumstance and promotion around it. It's kind of a perfect storm type of deal, dude.
And I'm stick around after our races, to go to Disney World or go rent a boat and go offshore fishing or whatever, tons of people stick around and have vacation after the race. It seems like
100%.
Yeah. And it's now the season opener, right? Instead of Pomona being the season opener, then go to Gainesville, or Pomona, Phoenix, then Gainesville. So having it be the season opener, and it's a week earlier. We talk about that a lot too, which I think they escaped any major weather issues this year, but it's kind of dicey that first week of March. And I know they did battle some track issues, probably not necessarily weather dependent, but just that time of year, the cold, hot, swinging, damp, dry. I mean, it's all over the place,
dude. And I think that this, what we should do in the coming weeks, we should have Kurt Johnson from Total Venue Concepts on the show, because I don't think fans really understand. I mean, I know a lot of people in the business that don't understand how nuanced track prep and the way these tracks, how the concrete mixture, where the concrete came from, the amount of water in the mixture, all these things contribute to how that concrete holds up, how it handles changing conditions, how rubber adheres to it. It's like a science on a multitude of levels. And that's what I was hearing. The reports I was getting, Mike, were that they were having trouble with, I believe it was the right lane specifically, holding rubber. And I saw some pictures circulating on social media that, showed some kind of bald spots and you could see bare concrete peeking through the rubber that was getting down. But it was very interesting, man. I mean, but I also, again, I think we labor over these track conditions, and that's kind of part of the story of some of these races. I really do. Like, I think that some of my favorite moments and events from drag racing yesteryear have been a pedal fest. Whit Bazemore and John Force out there whomping it, trying to get down through there. Like, if everything goes perfectly to plan every single time, I think we would get tired of that. You know what I mean? Like, I think you need some of that adversity. And I'm not saying it's not hard enough on its own, but does that make sense? Like, green speeds change. The playoff games in cold weather change the outcome oftentimes. It's part of it.
You can't, I mean, I guess we've seen that from some races and promoters where you're wanting everything in mine shaft conditions, and you're adjusting your schedule so that, all these qualifying runs happen at night or after the sun goes down or cool track or early in the morning, where, it is what it is. Like, everybody's got the same racetrack. So go out, try to lay one down. I mean, you might get 1 or 2 qualifiers, in the nice cool weather, but you got to make the best with that. Can't have it all the time.
Right. I mean, and I would love to see, I get it. I know everybody wants to go up there. Mike, I'm sure you guys have went to the starting line with your dad's car and been like, oh man. But like, to me, that was, back separates the men from the boys, man.
Well, that back in the day, you didn't want all the a nighttime run in perfect conditions was your most difficult run because of what you had to work with clutches and manual transmissions and the tires and everything that we were dealing with. But now everyone's accustomed for the other direction and can't fathom having to go down a suboptimal track. And I think there's 2 different ways to look at it. I think some of it is, it just happens. It takes time. Hell, we saw them cancel the Radio Outlaws deal that was going to be at Rockingham last weekend because they said the track wasn't seasoned enough for radial racing, meaning it hadn't had enough traffic on it to have the rubber adhere. And the same thing, I think, is on a smaller scale is what you saw in Gainesville. Same thing as what you saw at Bradenton on Saturday after the big rain that we had Friday night. It takes a little time. So there's all these factors that go into it, and to the expectation for everything to be perfect all the time, totally unrealistic. However, if you ask Austin Prock, the situation after that big oil down, that is probably a different scenario as far as
That is
rebuilding the
different.
track to an even level, or to get it back to where it's, I don't know, safe, or to some kind of minimum baseline to where it only affects certain, the next pair up or the next couple of pairs. That's a different deal that really will, leave you with a sour taste. And I think that's what happened with Austin. And we saw that literally knock the defending champion, the number one guy with all the eyeballs on him in his brand new ride and roll, not qualify, which was unprecedented. So
that was the second topic on my list. I mean,
Yeah.
do we anticipate seeing an Austin Prock bounce back at the NHRA event coming up in Phoenix next weekend? I mean, if you look at the forecast, boys, 106, 107 every single day. Yeah, every single day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 105 plus. So you're going to talk about, I mean, that's very, very tricky.
Last year
conditions.
isn't that where the Tasca team struggled a little bit, was in the heat?
Yeah, I think that's kind of been their thing the last couple of years.
I would say,
but they've made changes
because at the
to
end of the
personnel.
year, they were able to slow it down enough.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, I had not looked at the forecast and to see that it was going to be that hot. That'll be interesting for sure. And they'll definitely want to be swinging for those morning and nighttime runs and avoiding that heat of the day. But that's probably not the best situation to see Austin Prock bounce back. But I think that team will. And a lot of times it also is going to depend on how many of these Nitro teams are you going to see out in Phoenix. You're going to see more in Gainesville. You could only see 16. I haven't looked at the entry list or anything, but you're probably going to see a fewer or a lower car count in the Nitro classes, to where maybe there is no one that doesn't qualify. Just barely qualifying is probably not that team's goal, and probably wasn't something they thought they were going to have to worry about here to start the season.
Plus, that changes the game up for some of these tuners. I mean, like there's plenty of teams that have fast cars, and some of these guys can tune to a slick track, I think. So, I mean, like, look at Steve King. If he would have gotten the field, he would have been a problem for a lot of people, because he was making good licks, down through the heat of the day. And
well, dude, to your point, Mike, they have 17 funny cars entered in competition for the NHRA event coming up, the NHRA Arizona Nationals presented by NGK Spark Plugs. And yeah, I mean, what a tough spot. I mean, you've got, Dylan Winifsky, who's obviously a journeyman racer, kind of earning his stripes. We had him on the show last year, right prior to making his funny car debut. I think this will be his second or third outing. They're looking to string together just a handful of decent runs, right? They're still in that learning process, get out there, getting their feet underneath them. So I would say the odds are in Austin's favor. But one thing that I'm anxious to kind of see, and this was a lot that I was hearing, is that like there was a legitimate crowd pop from what I was told when Austin failed to qualify. Like, I wonder, we've seen this in stick and ball sports when guys, big trades happen and a guy kind of goes from babyface to heel. And I kind of feel like we're seeing that happen with Austin Prock. And part of me loves it, part of me hates it, because I think Austin Prock is I've not been around Austin a tremendous amount, but the time I have been around him, he's been nothing but cool. He's a fiery young man. He's clearly a very talented race car driver. His family is obviously amongst the best to ever do nitro racing at any level. But I'm just anxious to see how his personality, or how this whole thing, manifests or develops over the course of the next 6 or 8 months, because it is I'm feeling him leaning in to villain. Do you feel that?
Well, I think he's well suited for that. And I think that is probably something that he's going to be not eager to do, but something he's going to be willing to do, is to play that role.
He's going to have to do it.
With the success that he's had over the last couple of years, that alone, no matter how well liked you are, you start winning a bunch of championships in a row. Look at
people
Steve
hate
Torrance.
Winners, man.
Oh, yeah. Look at the Chiefs. Everybody in the world hates the Chiefs. Rightfully
they
so.
were like,
but it's
everybody loved them before. Now everybody
loved it when Mahomes first busts on the scene. Right, everybody's loving it. Then they get tired of it. The Patriots went through the same thing.
Brady,
but even I think the biggest part of that, or that pop that you heard, was the anti-John Force sentiment that was portrayed by him and his dad and kind of it was like sticking it to Force by going to Tasca. And so that was all the Force fans making that pop. He has lost a massive support group and fan base of the Force diehards, that whether John's driving or not, or whether John is involved or whoever, Brittany Force, they're going to be pulling for Team Force. And so now that he's not on Team Force and the way he departed, he had a lot of built-in
rabbit,
what's that
coming after him, like,
oh yeah. And then look at Josh Hart too. I think Josh Hart on the opposite end it's an interesting mirror to look at that, because Josh Hart's not a polarizing guy or whatever, the way Austin Prock it could be, kind of just in the middle, a guy that just goes about his business quietly or whatever. But now that he's on Team Force, and not only did he win the race, but now I feel like he's got a whole new fan base, and now he's a favorite out there. So it's really wild to see how strong the Force racing team and brand is, and what it can take away from someone like Austin Prock and what it can give to somebody like Josh Hart in just one race. It was a pretty wild thing to see.
The John Force Racing platform is nothing to bat your eyes at. And I that's why I'm so excited for Josh Hart, for Alexis DeJoria, for Jordan Vandergriff, for Jack Beckman, because they are, we've seen it with Jack Beckman, but I think we're about to see, even Alexis had a fantastic start to the season, right? Better, she couldn't have asked for a better start to the season. Josh Hart obviously wins the race, runs really well. I couldn't be happier for them. But you're right, man. They have John Force Racing has a rabid fan base, and we're going to see those guys, whether they like it or not, perhaps by no change on their own, become faces in this space just because of their association with John Force. And, obviously Austin Prock's on the other side.
Another one benefiting. Obviously I don't think he fits the same mold as Josh Hart, because he already kind of was a personality, a face, that
I agree.
It's like I see him more in the Austin Prock type of role, not the success that Austin has had or to take away from the championships he's had, but he strikes me more as that young, charismatic type of guy that could easily build a fan base, whereas Josh Hart maybe was a little bit more of an outlier in that. And so to see it also benefiting Jordan Vandergriff so early on, it's going to be interesting to see as well.
I tell you who benefited throughout the weekend and who became out a star after the weekend was over, Mattie Gordon.
That was the next topic that I was going to bring up. For those that don't know, we had Mattie Gordon on the cover of Drag Illustrated. What was that? Early last year?
Yep.
Yeah. Early last year.
We shoot our shot, man. That's right. It's another one that we call it way before anybody else does.
Dude, I'm proud of those moments, man. We had her on the cover kind of at the height of her top alcohol funny car run. She had stepped in to fill the shoes of her father, Doug Gordon, jumped behind the wheel of the team's top alcohol funny car, had a considerable amount of success, and was quickly, for those of us that were paying attention, we're like, okay, this girl's got it. She's got the gift of gab. She's got a great personality. She's well-spoken. All those intangibles, she's got them in spades. Pretty girl, blonde-headed. Like, if you're a marketer, you're going, okay, this is a fantastic fit for whatever it is what we want to do. We see Ron Capps swoop her up during the offseason. Huge news at PRI that Ron Capps Motorsports was expanding to a 2-car operation, and I was genuinely excited to see her be the one who got the nod. Great to see Ron Capps Racing organization expand, but that's an aside from the story of the day, which I believe undoubtedly is Mattie Gordon making her NHRA Top Fuel debut. Absolute. She couldn't have asked for more. Her interviews, the way the car performed, the way everything went, she went a few rounds. I don't know that you could ask for a better start to the season for Mattie Gordon. And the fans, another crowd pop moment. I know these are weird things to use as measuring sticks or metrics, but that's certainly the way they do it in pro wrestling. I tell you, the guys in the back are
you got to pay attention to that.
And she got, I was getting reports from the media center that said when she won first round, it was like the race had ended. Like the place went bananas. And to me, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it right now. We need more of that in the space in the sport of drag racing. So super excited about it. And we saw it via our own web traffic and social metrics. I mean, we monitor all those things. We keep we collect a lot of data here. We dropped, Blake and Cody dropped the digital cover with Mattie Gordon on it earlier this week on social media, and boom, it all but went viral in our little space, and I was really impressed with that.
Now that people got to see her, really, I mean,
that interview, we should cue that up. I'm going to cue that up.
She had a couple of them. The one where she was telling jokes and different things. Yeah, they're great.
Well, it's just exciting to see young faces like that, like Jordan Vandergriff. I mean, a lot of young people making their debut. Cody Anderson, that's another one. Yep. A lot of really like exciting young. That was awesome. Yeah, that deal was cool. Like we're seeing the guard changing a little bit. Finally, after all these years, we talk about when is the old guard gonna let the new guard take the reins. I mean, I think it's here. Like all of a sudden, we're really seeing a lot of these older guys. I mean, of course, we talk about John Force, but there's more than that. Like Bob Tasca himself, right? He's out of the seat so that Austin Prock can have a ride. Like there's a big youth movement going on in NHRA in the pro ranks, and I think that's probably my biggest takeaway from Gainesville and like what we have to look forward to this year.
I mean, to me, this has been the big opportunity that I think existed via the departure of John Force. We've said this here on this show many times, like who's going to step in and fill that void? Who's going to be the one that takes advantage of this moment in time where all of the oxygen that historically had been taken up by John Force was going to be available for other people to breathe, right? There was going to be some limelight to go around. And I believe like this past weekend, we absolutely saw Mattie Gordon confidently step into that. I mean, that was the headline I wrote, a new face emerges. And I think Top Fuel and Funny Car within the NHRA absolutely positively needs a face. It needs someone that can kind of represent this sport to the masses, be an ambassador for this sport to a younger generation. And I'm with you, Mike. I couldn't be more excited to see it. I mean, the Cody Anderson, Greg Anderson story, just to kind of continue this on, the new faces. I was really excited to see Cody not only qualify, win around, end up racing his dad. Like what a moment, what a fun new storyline. It was great to see the Midwest Drag Racing Series represented on the door of that thing. The KB Titan team continues to run good. It would appear that the Elite Motorsports team has closed the gap. I'll tell you guys, I swung by Elite Motorsports in Wynnewood, Oklahoma yesterday on my way up to see Tommy Cunningham and John Gentry and the team up at Stroud Safety in Oklahoma City. And it was like they're fired up. They feel like the tides have turned. They feel like the gap has narrowed, and they are happy. They are content. But I will tell you what, there was a whole lot of excitement still floating around in that building about Aaron Stanfield getting the job done at the World Series of Pro Mod. We would be remiss.
We need an update on the tramp stamp. Is there a design
tramp stamp update? Let's go full screen. All right, here we go. JT, 30-second tramp stamp update.
Okay.
Oh, well, I'm working on the artwork right now. And as soon as I get that back, then I got to find an artist. So anybody knows any good artists in Missouri, let me know. That's it.
You might have to go out of state. You might have to go out of state. I don't know if Missouri Kirksville's got the best tattoo.
I've got a secret weapon. It happened today. Mike, you know who I'm talking about. Who'd we talk about 3 hours ago?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I've got an idea. I got something for you. So why don't you send me some examples or some rough drafts or whatever you've sketched up, and we'll get some final art in production with a world-class artist that we know well.
Okay.
We'll get you hooked up, buddy.
We'll get you hooked up.
We're just excited to see
I don't want your first tattoo to suck. I want it to be really good. You know?
Yeah, you don't want it to be like a bird or anything like that.
Yeah, right.
Just kidding. Dude.
My bad.
I had a classic American traditional.
You were wide open on that, and I had to take it. I'm sorry.
Golly,
I regretted it as soon as I said it.
Well, my feelings are hurt. Just so you know, my feelings are hurt. Yeah, and I keep seeing it in the comments, and we've obviously not yet acknowledged it. But can we do a little golf clap? A little golf clap for Derek Minholt. Scott Tidwell
yes.
Racing, Eric, Elite Motorsports,
Yeah.
taking the win at the NHRA Gator Nationals in Pro Mod. That's 2 weeks in a row. They put that silver and black 69 Camaro in the winner's circle. How do you even wrap your head around going from the baddest outlaw 8th mile Pro Mod race on the planet Earth to a quarter-mile NHRA legal, changing combinations, changing superchargers, changing gear ratios,
Am I wrong,
tuner.
or is it not the only car that made the transition from Winter Series to
You are
NHRA
correct.
Pro Mod?
Yeah, I think that's right.
You
And it
are
won the
correct.
race. Some guys
Absolutely
even
incredible.
shelved their car and got in a different car to get ready for Gainesville, or didn't come to Winter Series or World Series Pro Mod at all, so they could have their car that they would have converted over ready for NHRA. But these guys did the double, man. I mean, that's pretty cool. Different tuners, like you said.
Chris Terry
different
calling the
rules.
shots during the World Series of Pro Mod. Brandon Stroud calling the shots at the Gators. Couldn't be happier for those guys. A lot of guys really ran well. I was really excited to see Alex Laughlin run good. I was excited. How cool is it to see Mike Thielen back behind the wheel? We're all big fans of Mike Thielen here at Drag Illustrated. He's a longtime friend of the family, and we hated to see him depart the sport.
Let's go
but I'm
ahead and
glad
just
he's back.
talk about the negative thing, though. No nitrous cars.
No nitrous cars.
No nitrous cars in NHRA Pro Mod. No nitrous cars qualify for World Series of Pro Mod.
Whatever. Step up, get out.
Oh, man.
Brutal, T.
Oh,
Brutal.
God.
Well,
Listen about it, you know.
No, very interesting situation. But I'll tell you, man, we posted that, Blake posted that clip of Fletcher Cox talking about nitrous cars in Pro Modified. And I tell you what, there is a world of people that believe it's there for the taking. There are a group of people that believe it's possible. We just need the right, you know, I mean, obviously I put all the faith in the world in Jim Halsey. I don't know that they had the conditions. I think they got behind early on, weren't making the runs that they needed to be making to be able to get after it come qualifying. But nonetheless, we've got to see nitrous stick around in Pro Mod. I don't know what the answer is. This isn't the place to solve it, and we may not be the people to solve it, but it's definitely something that weighs heavy on our minds here. I do want to take a quick second and remind you guys that each and every episode of the Wes Buck Show is made possible by way of our friends at Stroud Safety. Stroud Safety is known for top quality racing safety equipment, from drag chutes and seatbelts to fire suits and blankets, all 100% made in America. Log on to StroudSafety.com today and make sure you tell them we sent you. I was actually spending some time with Tommy Cunningham, the owner of Stroud Safety, yesterday, and John Gentry, longtime face of the brand there at Stroud Safety. Man, they've got some really cool stuff. They've got a brand new fire suit they just released that's a lightweight, breathable, flexible, comfortable, badass fire suit. Also 100% made in America. Really excited about all the things that they're doing in this sport and all the different sanctions and series and racers they support. So make sure you support the brands that are supporting the sport of drag racing. This is an interesting time in our space as private equity and all these outside people begin to infiltrate our space. I think it's never been more important to support the ones that support us and support racetracks, support racing events. So make sure you check out StroudSafety.com. Guys, we've got a huge guest in the green room right now getting ready. I can see him bouncing around a little bit, maybe getting prepared to come on here. Guys, let's give it up for the reigning, the defending, Drag Illustrated Winter Series World Champion, Peter Norton.
Woo! Rockin'
Yeah.
What's up?
What's
How
up?
are you guys? I was moving around
What's
trying
up,
to get
man?
my internet to work right. It's storming kind of crazy here. So I was like, man, I don't want this thing glitching out while I'm on here.
Oh, we got sirens and
Oh, we got-
everything.
I
Dude,
remember that.
you had me
It's
worried.
chasing
You
that
had me
truck.
worried. That was at Peter's shop. You know, you just said he had storms, man. Don't.
Oh, they're
Look at this
still
guy.
escorting him everywhere he goes. He
Yeah.
runs a McDonald's. He's got the cops escorting
Dude,
him.
I
pretty-
thought
oh, yeah.
about having a limo service or a driver just drive Peter around for like a month after the race. Like,
You should do that for like the reigning champion. They get that for next year treatment or something like that.
I
Yeah.
kind of like it. Every
I
time
can go down
Peter
and
comes
pick up
to
the
the
new
staging
champion.
lanes,
Yeah, there you
yes, every time Peter comes to the staging lanes next season, we should have a police escort for him, or maybe even have red carpet that the champion pulls up on. I kind of
Man,
like
that's
the way this
badass.
is headed.
go. I like it.
Ben Butcher would be just he'd be all over the place, wouldn't he? Thinking we're all arrested and
Oh,
coming to
yeah.
save us.
It's so funny. I don't know if you heard that, Peter, but one of your fellow drag racing brethren, Glenn Butcher, a longtime Top Sportsman guy and a dear friend of ours here at Drag Illustrated, he saw JT's truck surrounded by police cars down at the top end and thought he was getting arrested at the race. So he started calling him to say, like, hey, man, do you need help? Are you in trouble?
When do we gotta go save JT?
That's hilarious.
Oh,
That's hilarious.
dude. Absolutely crazy, man. Well, hey, Peter, we've had this conversation a handful of times, but I'll have it again here. It's been an absolute privilege to get to know you, your wife, Christy, your whole team. We're so proud to have you be a part of what we're doing. And I can't say enough about, I mean, you were probably undoubtedly the newest to the scene when you arrived at the Winter Series toward the tail end of 2025. Relative unknown. Me being me, I had done a bunch of digging on you before we talked, you know what I mean? But I knew that you had a pedigree for performance and that you had raced or competed in motorsports at a high level prior to this. But we couldn't be happier to have you serve as our reigning and defending champion. But I would like for you to kind of tell the story that you told the thousands in attendance on Saturday night in Bradenton about how you were sitting in the grandstands a year ago at the World Series of Pro Mod. Truck and tractor puller came down to be a part of this, or excuse me, a tractor puller who came down to be a part of it, check it out, watch as a fan, and decided to dive in.
Yeah, so, I'd paid a little bit of attention to drag racing just from having friends being around it. My good friend Colt Coffey did some backside no prep stuff, and he's good friends with Nick Taylor, so I'd got to know him a little bit. And so we'd been to a few races and paid attention, and just through kind of pulling with the Sheltons and watching Pro Mod a little bit, I was like, you know what? I want to go down and watch this World Series of Pro Mod. It looked like it was going to be a good time. And so my wife asked what I wanted to do for my birthday, and so February of 25, we went down and watched the World Series of Pro Mod for a day, and then I was for sure hooked then and ready to go get behind the wheel of one of those.
It's absolutely crazy, man, because whoever would have thought that you'd go from the grandstands to standing on the center of the starting line with a championship trophy and a check in your hands.
But he's not the only one. Actually, Casey Cato posted a story on his Facebook as well. Him, Brandon Plyler, they were spectators at World Series of Pro Mod last year as well, and then we're competing this year. Didn't have quite the level of success that you did, obviously, but it's pretty cool to hear of multiple people that are, fans of the sport attending the race, and that inspires them to literally build a program and come out just to race
I've got
the Winter
pictures
Series.
on my phone walking through the pits, taking pictures of Kai Kelly's rig, just a bunch of stuff down through. I'm a truck junkie anyway, semi, so I always want to go check out the toters and that kind of stuff. And so we walked around and watched. It's like, that's the first time I'd seen a Pro Mod in person was, a year ago. And so it was just, there's no replacement from being there next to one when they're going down the track. The feeling you get from all it, and it's the excitement, the people standing around the starting line. It's unbelievable, really. It's like, once you're there, it's like, if you have the opportunity to be able to do it, you're going to want to do it. And so, that gave me just a taste of what it's going to be like. We went down for the Snowbirds, and that's the first time I'd sat in the car. Mark DSP came out and poured my seat, and we got in it and started making laps. I got hooked up with Ricky Jones, and he has been just a blessing to me. I probably will give most of my, I don't know how I'd put it this, most of the reason I have gotten to where I've gotten to him. He's taught me a lot, and obviously he's a fantastic tuner and become a good friend. So it's just been a fantastic relationship. We've built one hell of a team in a very, very short period of time. So
I want to talk about Ricky especially, but I want to talk about, so had you done any drag racing prior to Pro Mod racing, Peter?
I'd been down the track maybe 10 times just on in a street car. I had a couple, like I said, the guys had done no preps. We'd been a couple no prep races. I think I'd been 490 in a door car, as fast as I'd been until I'd hopped in. So
wow. That alone. So so tell us a little bit about, I was researching further your tractor pulling, and you've had some big Grand National wins. You've had some considerable success in pro stock tractor pulling, as well as mini rod tractor pulling. Do either of those, obviously pro stock, big turbo diesel, 600-pound freaking crankshafts in those things, like a totally different animal, right?
Yeah.
But, the mini rods, oftentimes use a kind of what we're accustomed to, a screw blown Hemi or whatever, or roots blown Hemi.
Right.
Did any of the tractor pulling stuff like prepare you at all for drag racing, or how do you feel that contributed to?
I would say the
your
mini
comfort?
rods, if anything, the mini rods are probably the closest thing I'd consider to drag racing. My good friend Jeremy Nelson that helps with the mini rods, I told him, I said, I've only changed probably 10 spark plugs in my life where we had these mini rods. Everything we had was diesel. And so you just get that feeling in your ass, I guess you should say, that something's going wrong. I think that's what I probably would attest to all that too. But the actual, the reaction time and watching the lights and all that, that's just something it's just come naturally, really. We've practiced a little, like Ricky and I've sat in here on our practice tree, and he's, helped with scenarios and mess with me how it could be on the starting line. And a lot of that's helped. And I got a long way to go. I got a lot to learn. I know we've had 3 pretty successful races, but I'm, by no means gonna, think that I've conquered anything. We've got a lot to learn, and I want to keep progressing. I have a natural way that I want to win. I always want to win. So I will never let it, the next race is going to be better, however I can do it.
Well, I love hearing that you guys were working on situational stuff, because that is actually something that we've seen bite a lot of drivers that are actually even seasoned vets, where you get up and you've got somebody that flickers the bulb or notoriously stages shallow, or somebody who always wants to stage last, or someone who rolls in and damn near lights both bulbs, you know what I mean? Takes a big bite on the first right and immediately goes in and lights the second bulb. So I think it's cool to hear that you guys were working on that situational awareness. And that's the level we're seeing our sport get to, where it's like everybody shits fast. It's going to be who makes a difference on the starting line. That leads me to talking about Ricky Jones. Ricky Jones Jr. is somebody that has been near and dear our hearts here at Drag Illustrated for 20 years. We've watched them grow up into a young man, watch him get married, watch him have kids, watch him become a family man, watch their family, sell their business and move on into other walks of life and other things. And I couldn't be happier to see him making his presence known in Pro Modified. And I got to tell you, if I'm anybody in those pits, I would protect that young man's phone number, Peter, because if he did not make an impression this past winter, I don't know what he did. I mean, I was blown away. And I think that I was having this conversation with Richard Freeman yesterday, and we both kind of arrived at his ability to not only knowingly manage the power, but also make adjustments to the car. I think we're going to see that be bringing some of his pro stock chassis and suspension knowledge to an arena that has largely been about power management. He may be, I think we may be seeing a world beating crew chief / tuner emerging right now.
Yeah, obviously, him and his dad are both a wealth of knowledge, and I'm just blessed to have them. Eric Dillard with Proline had hooked us up to meet. Ricky and his family all moved to the north side of Indianapolis, so he's 40 minutes from my shop, and so he came down there. We met, kind of clicked right away, and had gone down just to do some testing in Florida on my radio car. I have a radio car that we run Pro 275 at Snowbirds, or at US Street, I guess.
Yeah.
So he went down and tested with that and decided, we need to get a Pro Line and something, however, what we're going to race for Snowbirds. And so that's what we did. Basically bought Jeff Rudolph's car in November, had it, 3 weeks, and had it together and got it hauled down to Snowbirds to race. And, this the way he knows the chassis and all the things that he just, from experience understands, and knowing that I'm probably a project. Didn't know how to drive, hadn't driven anything. And so he knew he's going to have to teach me a lot about the car, about driving, about the industry, about the people involved, who and who not to monkey with. I think all that's come a long way.
Yeah, for sure.
But he also has the car set up to where it looks drivable to me. Brian and I talked about this a lot on the broadcast. The drivability of the car, it really drives off nice. It's barely got the wheels up. It sets them down. You're able to steer the car, and it just makes a really clean, efficient run. We saw that last year with Ryan Hayward, also kind of a guy new to the scene, and Ricky Jones was calling the shots. He went all the way to the semifinals, at the World Series of Pro Mod. So that was a big deal. And it kind of mirrored what you did again this year, in my opinion. Like if you watched your pattern and watched you evolve as a driver and kind of have this car underneath you that was under control, that's got to be a great setup for a guy like you that, like you said, is still kind of learning the ropes, even though it didn't look like that from the outside. So I think that of all the people to work with someone like you that's new to the game, that you really couldn't ask for much more. So I agree with you 100%. And I think that's something that we may see as a separator, like Wes is saying, as the series goes on. It's about reaction time. It's about consistency. It's about being able to get down different, track conditions. We opened the show talking about that as well. So all these things versus just straight out balls to the wall, scoreboard knocking runs. I think we're going to see more of an approach like what Ricky's brought to your team.
Well, I think, obviously in that race, it took we had to collectively think about, what is the time that we need to accomplish to get down the track. These guys, I had to pedal a few around against Cali Mills and the U.S. Street. I had a pretty good situation. That's the first time I had to pedal really hard. And we had some struggles with it shaking a little bit. And so we'd worked through several things. We busted our ass on the car at World Series. We had problem after problem early. And I think some of those slower runs that we had data from. And so that was helpful probably when the track needed a 64 or 5 to get down. We had it. We had the data to do it. And, maybe it's just luck. I don't know. But eventually you can only be lucky so many times before you're good, the way I look at it. So
100%.
That's Ricky, wants to be conservative, but wants to push it to the edge. And I just, I knew I had to be good on the light, and I'm no Stevie Fast good, but we were starting to get a little more consistent. I think I read something, the stat guy had, I was a 27 for the whole 3 races or something.
Which is really impressive, dude. And I'm telling you, you were 0-11, I think, against Randy Weatherford in the semifinal. And it's to me, averages are important, but I also like to see what's going to happen when backs against the wall. You know what I mean? Because that pressure burst pipes, we say that a lot. That's probably one of the most commonly used phrases at Winter Series races, because a whole lot of these guys, no matter how much success they've had in drag racing, probably haven't raced in front of 10,000+ people with, the eyes of the world on them against heroes and legends and icons and all these different, equally well-resourced teams. And you get in that environment and it's a little sketchy. To see you go up against Randy Weatherford, who I think the entire sport was focused on Randy Weatherford late in 2025. He is on an absolute tear, got a bad, fast, hot rod, flying the flag of Hearts Charger, doing all the things, build a brand new dedicated outlaw car. And to go 0-11 against him, make the trip, and secure the championship, that was a pretty iconic moment, buddy. We're going to have a hard time one-upping that one.
Well, we went to the chip draw, and I was sitting there, I was who would I rather not draw? And he's badass, and I love his car, and he's a fantastic racer, and he's just tough, and I think that he was pretty confident he was probably going to end up on top. I was like, you know what? Let's just get this damn point things out of the way. We're just going to knock it out now, and it'll be what it'll be. And so, going down there, I'm getting now where I'm with the car enough that I can actually pay attention to the screen at the end of the thing, or at the end of the track where I can see the wind light, and so. You start getting enough wind lights, that's what you're always looking for. And it's just, there's no feeling like it. I can't explain. Having a million people ask me what it's like between that and pulling on the biggest stage of tractor pulling. And it's not comparable, as much as I hate to say it for all my tractor pulling fans. You roll around and through the water box in front of however many thousands of people standing next to you. There's no feeling like it. You can't explain. If you could bottle it up, you'd be a billionaire.
Well, let's try to figure that out. But no, it is
great to hear, man.
It is really great to hear, man. And so what do your plans look like for 2026? We've seen in the past, Steve King off his World Series of Pro Mod win, and Ken Cartuccio on the heels of his Winter Series championship in 24-25, go on race in the NHRA. We saw Steve King go to war with the badasses that exist within the PDRA. Do you plan to dive into a sanction or series here in 2026?
We're going to go. We're getting the car ready right now. I'm probably fired up as soon as I get off this. We've just been putting stuff back together. We're going to go to the first IHRA race and try that. And I think tentatively we're going to follow that schedule. We may bounce around into some PDRA or Midwest as well. Someday I'd like to race in a couple of NHRA races. Obviously, Indianapolis would be cool as hell to come up there and race. But I probably got some time. I want to get some experience. You got to think I've never really been down a track in a race other than Bradenton. And I've never even been to some of these tracks. So just traveling around in itself is going to be fun. So, I want to get used to the car, and we're working on another car now. So we'll be kind of, have some learning experience stuff to do, but I want to gain that experience to, keep busting ass.
Yeah, man, and come back and defend your crown.
That's pretty wild to hear. It's like the only track you've made a pass on is Bradenton. I mean, it just speaks to yeah, it is, but it just speaks to this whole thing we're talking about, which, being hungry for next year and 0.003 of a second short from really having probably one of the best weekends of all time between Rookie of the Year, Winter Series champion, and then World Series of Pro Mod winner. So there's still plenty of meat on the bone out there for you. But I mean, what an incredible weekend and way to like also kick off, but also wrap up your the Winter Series with that championship, and then now see if you can carry that momentum into this other stuff.
I'll tell you what, man, you're going to have the eyes of the world on you. You're going to have a target on your back every time you roll through the water box, brother. But I'm excited to see this unfold and what comes next for you. I'm anxious for us to spend some time together. Mike, JT, and I will pick a race this summer, or whenever you're going somewhere, and we'll come along. We'll tag along, and we'll help you guys. Hopefully, we don't have to
JT will help tune. Yeah, JT will help tune. He'll jump in there with Ricky Jones.
We go for sure. And just the opportunity to race down there I was just glad to be able to come, and and I wanted to show that when we get into doing something, we're going to do it to our fullest, and I think we made an impression.
Oh, absolutely. And I believe you're going. Did you go Did you go tractor pulling this past weekend with the mini?
No, I didn't end up going. So too much to get ready to go racing. So racing's getting in the way. But
you're still gonna try to continue in the tractor pulling world?
Yeah, we're gonna go. I signed up for the high stakes series, which is IHRA. Yep. There's like 5 pulls that are 10,000 to win with the mini rods. We're gonna go to that. I think actually Milan, the race at Milan, is the same weekend as a tractor pull. So I'll race and pull same weekend at Milan, Michigan, which is kind of
that'll be cool. What about do you still have your pro stock tractor, the big John Deere?
We're not going to run it anymore. Yeah. So yeah,
moving on.
It's just you can only have so many things, so it's. I'd love to do it all, believe me, but I have a family to take care of. My daughter's got a junior dragster. We're going to try and monkey with this summer a little bit, so that'd be kind of fun.
Oh, that'll be a lot of fun, man. Well, yeah, we're glad to have you in Pro Mod, and we want you to stay focused on that. We've got. I'll tell you this, Peter, and we'll leave you with this, brother. We're very proud of you. We're happy for you. We can't wait to see what comes next, and I promise you, we're just getting started. We're absolutely just getting started, brother.
I love it. I love being a part of this group, family. It's been very welcoming. A lot of new faces, people to meet, and they've all been fantastic. So I'm just lucky to meet some of these people that have been like idols, basically, lined up next to Lyle Barnett twice in this series. I'm like, I've watched this guy race for, as much as I've watched racing pretty much. So
it's an amazing thing, man. We're some blessed people, brother. Congratulations on everything you've achieved. I can't wait to see what comes next, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay. Thanks for joining us.
Thank y'all. Yep. Have a good day.
Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Norton. Oh my goodness, man! That whole story is fucking bananas.
I honestly didn't. A lot of people say they're rookies or don't have a lot of experience, but he kind of takes the cake for that. And then coming down to Bradenton, going from fan to only making runs at Bradenton, that's pretty wild. And the success he had was unreal. When we named him Rookie of the Year, it was pretty clear, and he had the best season, Winter Series season up to that point. But we made that decision on Thursday night, something like that.
Yeah,
it was right when the weekend started, and then for him to go on and have the weekend that he had really vindicated our decision, man. I mean, it made us look even smarter than we think we are.
I was ready to go to war over the Peter Norton. Like we had some differing opinions, and there was some great racers in the conversation, but it's like this is a true rookie. Like these, I don't even know if there's.
I think that's what it comes down to.
Exist.
But you don't get many true rookies running our series. They might be new to the Winter Series, but they've probably been racing Pro Mod for a decade or something like that. But he was really one of the few that fit that mold. And man, did he have quite a debut. And I'm sure Jeff Rudolph, we saw that text message thread that I think Jeff posted, or maybe Peter posted, that unfortunately Jeff had that horrific incident with his new car, but then the old car, which had run well at Bradenton in years past, goes out and does what it did. And he was like, I want to buy it back. And Peter said, the price has gone up.
I don't blame him. I have a funny feeling he'll probably be hanging on to that thing for the foreseeable future, guys. Let me take a quick second, though, and remind you guys that each and every episode of the Wes Buck Show is made possible by way of our friends at Redline Synthetic Oils, formulated to win, proven by you. We're talking about a trusted brand trusted by the best in the business. Ty Tutterow, Steve Torrance, Callie Mills, Spencer Hyde, Scott Palmer, Tommy Franklin. The list goes on. These aren't just weekend warriors. These are champion killers and contenders who rely on Redline to get it done. Formulated to win, proven by racers like you. Check out their full product lineup at redlineoil.com. Ladies and gentlemen, we got another huge guest in the green room. Can't wait to check in with this young man. We've been buddies for a long time. He's a door slammer guy, whether he likes it or not. We've gotten on board with this whole next phase of his career. We're fans, but let's give it up. Fresh off a monumental win at the NHRA Gator Nationals, back-to-back, 2 years in a row, not once, not just once, 2 times. NHRA Gator National champ, Nitro Funny Car superstar, the one and only Chad Green. What's up, baby?
Great to see you, Wes.
Man, it's great to see you, dude. First and foremost, congratulations. I mean, I watched your interview in the media center, and I can't even imagine, winning at this level. I mean, this is as tough as it gets, right? I mean, all of us have watched the John Forces and the Del Warshams and the Kenny Bernsteins and the Don Perdomes and all these iconic names that we associate with funny car racing. To be mentioned in the same breath, to win a class, to compete in the same circle and have success, I can't imagine. But to do it 2 years in a row, Chad, I mean, absolutely incredible. I mean, what do you make of this?
Oh, let me tell you, Wes, I haven't been able to get the smile off my face. I mean, it's truly incredible. I mean, I just, it's like you got to pinch yourself type of moment. Just like you said, it's so tough to go out here and win one of these races. And, the competition out there is so tough. Like you said, you got all these big guys, these big dogs out there, which we had to go through a few of them, to be able to get this done.
You did.
And I just can't say enough about, the group of guys I've got. I've been fortunate enough. This is actually, it's hard to believe this is my 7th year driving a funny car in the NHRA. And I've had the same core group of guys with me from the beginning. And we've really grown, and to see how much we've grown over the years, to see, where we've progressed to, it's really awesome.
It's, to me, I mean, I look at how far this program has come, right? And you've got to take some real pride in that. Like, this has gone from, you being there, getting your feet underneath you, kind of getting your sea legs, right? You're learning this. You bring in, Dean Marinas, longtime door slammer guy, helping call the shots on the car. Like this, it was kind of a coming together. And then here we are. Look at your lights, Chad, 65, 60, 70. I mean, you had amongst, if not the best lights in the entire category. I mean, I only see one on the qualifying or on the results here that was better than you. I mean, are you coming into your own? Is this a 7? I'm comfortable. I'm confident in the car. Like, where do you think this is coming from? Because we've clearly seen you evolve as a driver.
Well, yeah, definitely. Yeah. When I tell you, when your team gives you a good car and you're going out there and when you're standing on the gas and all the thing is doing is going down the track and you're not worried about all the other stuff going on with the car, it really helps you as a driver, just being able to focus. Yeah, I did have one bad light that day. It was actually in the
semifinals. Yeah, and it wasn't even that bad. 100 isn't.
It wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't. But it's one of those cases. I accidentally went in and double bulbed Jordan, and a lot of people. Let me tell you, if you double bulb somebody in one of these fuel cars, it really messes up the person who does it more than the person that is getting done to, because it really messes up your whole rhythm. And that was a total accident on my part. And I'm lucky I didn't screw up that whole round right then, but I was able to keep my wits about me and get the job done. And my life wasn't too bad, but no, I felt really confident on Sunday. We had a really good car, and that all helps for sure.
I think we've seen it a lot of times when a driver really believes in the car they're driving and knows it's going to make the trip and it's not going to do something crazy or jump up off the track or shake your brains out. All of a sudden we see, okay, we've got a wheelman here. We've got somebody now that he believes in his mount. He's going to be able to do something with it. What has changed within the team? Like one of the first texts I sent on Sunday night was to Dean Marinas, because I just can't really wrap my head around this dude that I met in the pits at South Georgia Motorsports Park, what seems like 100 years ago, racing his 275 tire nitrous 632 powered Ford Mustang, wearing a Yankees hat pulled down low. I just, it's, to me, it's absolutely insane to have seen him, you know, obviously join forces with you, be part of your Pro Mod campaign with Pat Musey, where you had considerable success, but also evolve with you into the fuel ranks. I mean, is that at all, like, it's pretty crazy, right? I don't know that there's many stories like Dean's in our community.
No, there's absolutely not. And, you know, I tell you, it was hard to get Dean to come with me. He would not be fuel racing if it wasn't for me. I remember back, you know, when we're talking about 7 years ago, and I told Dean, said, you know, come on, you know, I want you to go with me. And he was reluctant, you know, I know he was reluctant. And, you know, the first year or two, Dean, I could tell, you know, he felt like a duck out of water over there. He didn't really right off the bat get the respect that he deserved as the smart tuner guy that he is, that we all know he is. And it was rough. And he even told me, he's like, if it wasn't for you, Chad, I would not be here. But I know Dean, I know how smart, how intelligent that guy is. And I just knew, you know, if I could just keep this guy around for a few years, let him learn this stuff, and he will be a force to be reckoned with one of these days. And you can see that evolving. You can see it coming into it. And Dean, I mean, his own confidence has grown in the car. And yeah, it's only going to get better from here, Wes, let me tell you.
He texted me and told me that I said, congratulations.
Hey.
Tell you congratulations. And he said,
AT,
he said, we're going to party. And then he said, what did he say? I said, I'm going to go wrestle a gator.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did, to be honest with you, man. I mean, can you tell me what, like, is Dean solely calling the shots on that car at this point in time?
Well, I have two crew chiefs. I have
Okay.
Dean, I have Joe Sereno, and they've both been with me from the beginning.
Okay.
You know, they complement each other so well. You know, Dean's the type of guy, you know, he's so technical, so good on the computer tuning. And, you know, Joe, on the other hand, he was one of Tim Wilkinson's best guys ever, longtime guys. And luckily, you know, that I got the chance to have him now. And he really knows the car backwards and forwards, you know, mechanically. So they're the perfect
That's a
combination.
great pairing.
Yes. It couldn't be any better, actually.
Well, I mean, it's just crazy to me because we talk sometimes about like who's going to be, you know, who's going to fill the shoes of Alan Johnson, who's going to fill the shoes of some of these guys as they move on. And then you see someone like Dean, who is a complete, like you said, fish out of water. Like, he's never been around Nitro, never aspired to be a Nitro crew chief. And here he is posing for Winter Circle photos, you know, along with yourself and Joe and the rest of the team. It's a pretty crazy thing, man. And I'm very grateful to guys like you that have given people like Dean and Joe a chance, you know, because a lot of times, especially in this sport, with the amount of money that it takes, the level of commitment that it takes, no one could fault you for saying, hey, I just want to go buy a program from somebody or go join a super team or go pay for a seat somewhere. But you choosing, consciously deciding that I want to build something of my own, I want to develop my own people, like that's our sport's blessed by that, Chad. I mean, you know what I mean? It's important.
Let me tell you, I mean, that's the only way I could do it because, you know, I can't afford to go out there and just hire a big time crew chief and do all that. I mean, we have to develop from within, and the sport needs that. I mean, you only have some of these big time expensive crew chiefs walking around out there, and they're not going to be around forever. And so we got to develop new guys coming up. And you see that not only with my team, you see it with other teams, you see it with Hagen's team. They're a really good example. I kind of look at them and our teams, we're kind of in the same type position, you know, with our young crew chiefs. And I really like those guys over there. And those guys get along good with my guys, and you know, we talk a lot, and it's really great to see, you know, not just the same old guys dominate all the time.
I sure like it, man. And again, I think it protects the sport in a lot of ways, because I worry, you know, this off season, there was all sorts of shuffling around and people moving. And I was hearing about some of the salaries and some of the dollars that these guys were commanding. And I think that environment only exists because they're so scarce. Right. You know, like if there were more of them, I don't know that they'd be able to command $500,000 a year or whatever. And I don't know that our sport really needs to be in that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that's what drag racing is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that maybe makes sense in 20 car.
Couldn't afford that. I mean, I just couldn't afford that with my program. So, yeah.
No, it's a very important, I think, to see just kind of that new generation of guys coming up through the ranks, and you giving them an opportunity. We absolutely appreciate it, man. So what's the plan? You know, obviously we're headed to Phoenix in a couple of weeks, and are you guys, you and Hunter, obviously we've gotten to see your son develop as a driver himself, have a tremendous amount of success in top alcohol dragster racing, diving into the Nitro ranks. You know, I mean, that's got to be exciting for you to have this opportunity to race with your son at this level. I mean, absolute insanity.
It's exciting. And let me tell you, Wes, we're excited right now. I've always said in the past, it's so important, you know, the first race of the year, how you come out of that first race, because, you know, before the first race of the year, nobody has a position. After that first race, that sets your position for the year. And based on that, if you're not in the number one spot, you're playing catch up from now on. So, you know, last year we was blessed enough to win this race and be in that position. And to tell you the truth, we totally went and lost our way, goofed it up, and did not take advantage of being in that position at all. We actually went last year from being in number one all the way back to number 12 by the time we got to Indy right before the countdown. And luckily by Indy, we kind of figured out what had been going on with our program through the middle of the season, and we got that fixed. And if you look at the countdown last year, that the last 5 races, we didn't get to do Pomona, unfortunately, but we actually climbed back from 12th spot all the way to 7th in 5 races. So that's where our car kind of turned around. It wasn't, you know, the first race, Gainesville this year. It was, you know, during the countdown, we went to numerous semifinals in the countdown. And that's kind of where we got it turned around. We came out preseason this year. We put, you know, a lot of 11 test runs on the car in preseason. Came out of that feeling really good about the car. And to be able to go out and win this race again and be in this position in the, you know, the number one spot in the points, you know, going forward, I feel so fortunate because we totally goofed it up last year. And our goal this year is, you know, to capitalize on that and, you know, take that momentum and carry it forward like, you know, we should have done last year.
Do you think that headed into Phoenix, where it's looking like it's going to be, I know the weather conditions are changing quick, but it looks like it's going to be a spicy one out there, Chad, over 100 degrees every day. This is a track that has a little bit of a history of being tricky. There's been various instances where it's been, you know, we've seen some Hail Mary runs out there for sure, but we've also seen some guys struggle, knowing the conditions are what they are, knowing that there was some track, you know, condition drama at Gainesville. Do you feel like you guys are even better positioned? And personally, I've seen Dean Marinas shine in those situations. Like, you've got to feel like, all right, we've got an opportunity to keep this going.
Yes, 100%. You're exactly right, Wes. It does not hurt my feelings to see those hot temperatures coming up. That's actually Dean's strong point, is track management. And yeah, I think we'll definitely have some advantage. I know there's other cars that can go out there and run good on hot tracks too. And, you know, we got really fortunate. I got really fortunate to beat Hagan by a whole shot in the second round. I guarantee you, if I hadn't have done that, I believe he would have won the race. Another one, J.R. Todd. I mean, if he wouldn't have double stepped, that would have been another tough car to have to beat. So there's definitely some very tough cars out there running really good right now, but we're in a good spot. And, you know, I don't know if we'll go out there and we can win. That'd be great if we could win even another back-to-back race like that. But as long as we can do good and go rounds, I mean, that's what's important.
What is the biggest challenge with like maintaining success? I mean, over the years, I know these nitro cars are fickle beasts to begin with, but I talk to tuners and crew chiefs and team owners a lot, and we're battling clutch disc consistency. We're battling this. I mean, what is, for our fans, for the people that, have their ear to the ground or paying attention, what is the biggest thing that the biggest challenge that you guys face, throughout the course of a season of keeping it all together? Is it the changing track conditions and just tuning to that, or is there a mechanical part of this that is especially challenging?
No, I would definitely say it's 100% the clutch program. That's the tricky part in these cars. And, the thing about these clutches and the clutch discs we get, you can only get so many of them, and every batch is different. So that's kind of the issue we ran into last year. After we won the Gator Nationals, we changed some stuff in our clutch program, and we really just lost our way for a long time till we figured it back out. And this year, we've made a minor adjustment to our clutch program over last year, just a small step, but it seems to be in the right direction. And, for right now, hopefully we'll be good for the season, because hopefully we got enough clutch discs to run this program. But definitely it's an issue all the teams deal with. And it doesn't matter how good of a crew chief you are. When you get a new clutch disc, new clutch program, they act different. It takes a little while to figure it out. And so sometimes you're lucky you can figure it out faster than other times.
It's such an interesting dynamic. It so much reminds me of like the tire allotment in Formula One racing or what have you, where it's like, hey, we've got limited inventory of this stuff. We've got to get as much mileage out of it as we can, because when we do have to change, a lot of things are going to have to change. And I think it's important fans know that, because it's easy to go, oh man, that guy's not running worth a shit. And it's like, well, hey, all they did was change this one hard part, a floater, right, or a you know what I mean? And all of a sudden they're in left field, and it's going to take them a while to get back. And when you try to get back in 100-degree temperatures or in varying track surfaces, that's a big bite for anybody. I mean, it's a big bite for Jimmy Prock, anybody.
Yes, and the important thing for the fans to know, although we're just talking about one component on the car, the clutch disc, if something changes in that clutch disc, it really makes you have to change a whole line of other things on the car to make the car operate right. So it's not just a matter of, what do we do different with this clutch disc? It's what do we do different with the whole rest of the car, with your blower, how much blower power you're going to put on it, timing, everything, fuel, all that stuff. It all has to work in combination. And when one thing changes, it changes it all. So, yeah, that's a big challenge.
It's a huge challenge, man. Well, dude, we couldn't be happier for you. We couldn't be more excited. I've known you forever, dude. We've had a lot of fun over the years. We're going to have to fire the PRI party back up this year. I missed that in 25. So
hey, we missed it.
Did you?
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, our livers probably didn't miss it, but I would say
I don't know about that. We made up for it someplace else, but we definitely would have rather been there.
No, we'll run it back, brother. Man, we can't wait to see you at the racetrack. I'm sure we will cross paths soon. And one of these days, I'm going to get you. You still got that silver Corvette sitting around?
It's right out there. I look at it every day.
Oh, man, we've got to get you strapped back in that thing for a run at the Winter Series in 26, 27, man. We need you down there.
Would love to be there.
We'd love to have you, brother. Hey, congrats on all your success. I can't wait to see you at the racetrack and go bust their asses in Phoenix.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you, brother. Talk soon. Ladies and gentlemen, Chad Green. Where did all my guys go? I thought everybody bailed on me. He did a good job. Chad's become a pretty damn good interview.
Yeah, he is, man. Pro Mod guy at heart, though. We got to get that Corvette.
I know. And I wasn't even going to bring it up because I didn't want to give him shit about it, but it's like, I do miss him, and I had a lot of fun racing with Chad and being around Chad. Like, he was a big part. Like, whenever I was running around a lot with Danny Rowe and Steve Matusik, Chad was around a lot. You know what I mean? During the RP, Real Pro Mod Association days and NHRA. And he's a great guy. And it's great to see him have some success. And I tell you, man, yet again, we're seeing more people just kind of that have been here or been in or just emerging, and I'm anxious to see what these guys do next.
And Dean too. And like he talked about navigating the track situation, like we talked about to open the show, and what they're going to face in Phoenix. We'll see, man. They could go on a little run here.
If you remember, Phoenix was the race, and this has been a while ago. It's been Do you remember when the NHRA decided that they were going to prep the tracks less? Like they just made a wholesale change.
You mean on the second half of the track? Or
yeah, well, they
they
decided they were going to prep the tracks less. That was how they were going to slow down the cars and contend with chunking tires and all of that. And if you remember, that was actually at the NHRA race in Phoenix a few years ago when that happened. And I mean, hell, there was damn near a mutiny. I mean, there were teams threatening to pull out, not run the rest of the season. They weren't going to race. So it's kind of interesting to me that like that's the next stop on the tour, and I'm excited to follow along, dude. It's did you guys fill out your drag race bracket bonanza brackets?
Yeah, I didn't do too well. I got to check on it, but I know I didn't do too well.
On it, I didn't get an email or anything. So.
Yeah, I don't get an email.
I actually did pretty good. I didn't do too bad.
Okay.
Here,
so that's why he's bringing it up.
That's why I'm bringing it up. Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to tell you I'm going to bring up my bracket. View bracket.
We need to share.
I won the Drag Illustrated League last year, by the way.
I mean, I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, it should have like a stat. I mean, I didn't do great. Funny car, I didn't do fantastic. But in Top Fuel and Pro Stock, I really did pretty damn well. I'm pretty proud of this. I was dead on all the way to the semifinals in Top Fuel and dead on all the way to the semifinals in Pro Stock. I felt a little bit of preseason. I thought Erica was going to get around Greg.
Man. After week 1.
5th?
Yeah.
I still did pretty good. You guys must have done better. I was happy with this. How do I go? How do I see that? Look.
You go to
View League.
View Leagues. My
shit,
league.
I am in 5th.
And then
Nate's in 1st. Somebody call Nate. No hard card Hudson. I love that. That's
Nate usually does pretty well. Damn, I'm in 7th out of 8. That's brutal.
Oh, well, he got Pro Stock Motorcycle almost entirely right, which is why Nate.
Only person doing worse than me is Craig. That's bad.
I'm bad at it because I start picking my friends.
That is one of the hardest part of this whole deal.
Dude, I'm bad. I'm pretty good on Pro Stock.
Like I'm a traitor if I don't pick them.
Yeah. Pro Stock, I'm usually pretty solid. I cannot pick the fuel classes to save my life. And I don't know why. I think I just start picking upsets, and then I just end up with like the number 13 qualifier winning the race somehow. And then I'm like, yeah, that's going to happen. And then you look back, and it never happens, really.
Like
so
March
I got to do
Madness,
better.
You start picking some upsets and stuff, and then you get down to the end, you're like, shit. Do I need to redo this whole bracket? Because now I've got a bunch of teams that shouldn't be there. And then
and then like I'm looking at the Pro Stock bracket, and I'm going, where's Aaron Stanfield's name? You know what I mean? Like Aaron, whoever is like, Aaron's my guy. You know, so Aaron Stanfield's. I had Aaron Stanfield winning the whole deal. You know what I mean? And
which he could have. I mean, dude, you don't know. Like, these things are all. It shows how hard it is to predict a drag race. Period. When you start doing any of these or doing any of the betting, which we don't do as official media members of the NHRA, but
yeah,
the betting is very hard. But this bracket deal,
John Gentry in the house. We were just talking about John. I got to tell you guys this story real quick. So John was texting me last night. John Gentry from Stroud, the homie, and he's gonna go test. He's got a twin turbo pro mod. I'm gonna go with him to test at XRP in the next couple of weeks, hopefully if I'm home. But dude, I don't know about everybody else in the whole wide world out there on the World Wide Web, but dude, the weather last night was sketchy. I left Oklahoma City at like, I don't know, it's probably almost 9:00. And John Gentry, Tommy, and I, we're having dinner, and we go. They're like, maybe you should stay. Tommy's like, maybe you should stay. Get a hotel room and just stay. And I'm like, wow, I got a ton of shit to do tomorrow. I need to get home. I'm going to be out of town. I got a wedding this weekend. Like, I got to get home. So I take off driving, and I didn't get 15 minutes south of Oklahoma City, and the sky is like darker than normal dark, like no moonlight. I mean, it just lightning like crazy, odd, eerie. And my wife's freaking out, of course, because she knows I'm about to drive 3 hours home through all this. And while we were sitting in the restaurant, never experienced this. We're at Bob's Chop House in the Omni Hotel in downtown Oklahoma City. 2 things I'll tell you. If you're going to Oklahoma City, stay at the Omni. I love badass hotels, and that place is phenomenal. And you can't go wrong with Bob's Chop House, like fantastic steakhouse. We're sitting in there, and they've got like some soccer.
You didn't stay. You said you didn't stay at the hotel.
I have before, brother.
Oh,
I have before.
All
Yeah,
right,
I
I
have
was
before.
confused.
It's not my first time in Oklahoma City.
Sorry, Mike.
You know, I go hang out with Tommy as often as I possibly can. But anyways, so we're sitting at dinner and we're like, I think we had just gotten our food and the TV swaps to like, you know, the storm tracker guy. And I mean, he's bouncing around and pointing at stuff on this radar and going nuts. And then there's like an alarm system throughout the entire hotel that goes off. And it's like, beep, beep, beep. And then a voice, like a human, like somebody on a PA. We need everybody to get away from windows, blah, 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 blah. So, dude, they had all the restaurants that they told us that they couldn't make us leave because we're just people or patrons or whatever. But they made all their staff like seek shelter. So, like, we're just sitting there, like eating kind of awkwardly, like waiting to know if we're like, are we about to blow away? Is something really bad about to happen? And we were taking it pretty lightly. I noticed folks in Oklahoma don't get too worried about the weather. I think they're fairly
This
used
sounds
to
like
it.
some Oklahoma stuff.
Yeah.
Twister.
I think this
Twister is based in Oklahoma, isn't it? The movie.
Yes, I think so.
So
This
that
is like
adds
the
up.
17th tornado they've had in March. Like already. It's crazy. So anyways, I'm driving along and I call JT and I'm like, hey, dude, I'm driving. It's raining sideways. I can't see. Get on the radar, the weather map, and see where I'm going to hit this the worst, and if where I should stop. So he's like, go like 20 more minutes, get to Purcell, and pull over in Purcell, and just it should be gone in like 5 or 10 minutes. It'll be west of you, right? And I'm like, bet. So I get to Purcell, pull over, and I was there for like 10 minutes. Talked to the chick behind the counter. There's some little scrawny dude that was standing behind the counter, smoking a cigarette inside a gas station. I was impressed. I'm like, wow, we are in fucking Oklahoma, right? So anyways, I don't think he was supposed to be. He was kind of doing it on the sly, right? But anyways, so I finally jumped back in the truck. The rain died down a little bit, and I head on south, and I didn't get 5 miles, and I saw I counted 8 semi-trucks flipped over completely on their side, like blown over. Like it did not appear to be any sort of, there was no impact. They hadn't hit a guard wall or hit something else or run off the road.
Man, that's
Dude,
like
it blew them over.
Catch,
It was crazy. And I didn't know really what to do. Like part of me was like, should I stop and like try to help? But then like I kept meeting cops, but not all of them had been like, what do you call it, JT? Like when they hadn't, the EMS or whatever hadn't arrived.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it was wild. 8 semis flipped over on the way home, and it was a white knuckle deal pretty much all the way to the driveway. I pulled in about midnight or a little after, and it's been a while. It was wild, man. I'm glad it's over. It's a beautiful day in Fort Worth. They do
that kind
not
of weather, man. That's like, it's funny. It's like over here on the East Coast, that kind of stuff right there terrifies me. And then if I talk about like hurricanes and stuff, you guys get terrified about that. It's like with the stuff you're not used to. Yeah. When I watched Wizard of Oz and they opened the thing to the like shutters that are in the bottom of the house to go into the basement, I didn't think that was a real thing. Like nobody around here has that. I don't even know what that is. I'm like, what are they doing and where are they going and why does it have this thing built into the bottom of the house? Because
use them as slides when you're a kid, Mike. You do, don't you?
You do,
I thought
man.
it was some made up. I thought it was some made up shit.
You thought it was some Hollywood stuff, right?
Yeah,
Hollywood magic just made up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, dude, like
Dorothy's actually my cousin. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Cousin. Oh, dude,
she's your Kansas cousin and that you hate because you hate Kansas.
Yeah,
but it is crazy because even here in Texas, nobody has a basement. Nobody.
No.
You know what I mean?
If
But
you have a basement,
everybody
it's just
in
like
Northeast
for
Missouri,
entertainment or bonus.
not in Missouri.
It's not like
shelter.
get in the bomb shelter to,
I got a
to
basement,
survive.
and then I have a shelter in my basement. Like my whole front porch is cemented. The whole room underneath the whole front porch is all cement. So it's one room that's like a storm shelter. Yeah. So I mean, I ain't getting blown away.
Is that like code? Is that required? Do you have to have something like that?
No, but you're already pouring that. You're already pouring that porch, so you might as well pour the walls down.
No, it's interesting, man.
I'm turning it into a gun safe. So,
are you turning it into a gun safe?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
that's a good idea. I like that, man.
I'm just gonna have to buy a lot more guns because that thing's big in there.
Yeah, you need another hobby, right?
I
That
well,
makes
I
a lot of
have a
sense.
bunch of guns, but yeah, we can put a strip pole in it in a bar, and I mean that'd be the house to come to if a storm was coming through, right?
Yeah, man.
Oh, everybody's
Flushing's-
coming to your house no matter what, JT. You could not have any of this stuff, and
That's true.
people are still coming to your house. Where y'all
Um,
going? Let's go to Hudson's.
Dude, they go to his house when he doesn't even know they're coming.
I
Yeah.
know.
Like
that'd wear me out. You do that one time, and then we ain't doing that a second time.
Well, my wife's used to it, man. Like she's been stepping over bodies, after parties and stuff for years, man.
It's awesome, dude. I love you, JT. We're all just wishing we were doing what you're doing, basically.
Pretty much.
It's pretty much
Jealousy.
the fact.
It's
It's
just
absolute jealousy.
thinly veiled jealousy.
What else is going on in drag racing that we should touch on? Wild changes at the IHRA. It would be crazy not to at least acknowledge
yeah.
it. Scott Woody Woodruff unceremoniously exits the IHRA last week. Huge news. There was a lot of people that pointed at Woody as kind of, if not the face of that brand moving forward, like amongst the primary faces of that brand moving forward. I think this has got a lot of people, really up in arms. Very interesting. There's been a lot of leadership changes. I think that's going to be one of the biggest hurdles for the IHRA as they move forward, is just trying to establish some sort of continuity, and earning people's trust is really what this deal all boils down to. And I'm anxious to see how they're able to overcome this.
Right, for a lot of people was you kind of had a little bit of trust in it because Scott was there, and you thought, okay, well, he's still there, so
If Woody's there, yeah.
Woody's there.
Well, yeah, and even more just that they hadn't had a big movement or turnover as quickly or as rapidly as they have been, right? There seemed to be a little stability over the last 6 months or however long it's been, and then here, they got their first race next weekend. So, I think the turnout. I mean, Galat is obviously a well-attended, well-respected facility. A lot of racers in the area. I think that despite that, I think they'll still have a good turnout of cars, and we'll see where it goes from there. I think the last event they had at Galat was probably their most successful one. So
Far and away,
if there's
if I
any
had to
event for them to kick off the season and have some success with, I would think this would be it. My question is all those tracks that they purchased and all the ones that need a ton of work and renovation to get back to life and that are on the schedule. Those would be the ones that I think would be the bigger challenge. But Galat's kind of a ready to roll facility.
And
that place
Brett
is
Underwood too. That was
Oh,
relieved
yeah.
of his
Brett
duties.
Underwood also left
and then-
or also exited.
And not to do
from-
everything that you could to try to keep Tyler Crossnow at VMP. I don't know, that was weird for me because I thought, man, there's another name that mends a lot of fences. A lot of people trust him. I think that'd be a commodity you really want to have. And,
Yeah.
and you wouldn't even really need to do much. I mean, Tyler's a hard worker. He'd go out there and make sure that everything, you'd be hands off with that track.
Well, yeah,
That's
he's
how
got experience there for whatever 5-7 years or however long it's been. It's been a long time. It's been longer than any of us thought. Whenever Tyler made that post on social media, I think Mike and I were both like going, "Holy crap!" We were on the phone, I think, reading it, and it's like, has he been there that long? And it's really kind of crazy. It's going to be very interesting to see. I mean, Piedmont, I understand, is like in disrepair right now. They tore up the racetrack, and I don't know that they've got like immediate plans to fix it. I really love that facility, and I hope that all works out well. I mean, it's always like,
I was just looking at the schedule, and I haven't really even thought about this until now, but the schedule, they got Galat, IHRA Galat next weekend, then PDRA Darlington the following weekend. And those aren't necessarily close, but I mean, those are within a couple of hours and are kind of our flagship tracks here in the Carolinas, along with Rockingham. Then IHRA goes to VMP, then PDRA goes to Galat. I mean,
man.
right here in this little area, this little 3-hour circle in that area, you've got a lot. And then NHRA Charlotte comes to ZMAX. So the Carolinas, that's a lot of racing happening. And then Swanfest is in Rockingham the following weekend after ZMAX. It's just a wild mishmash, kind of overlapping of schedules that I think are going to be interesting to see, especially the classes like IHRA Pro Mod and PDRA Pro Boost, the ones that overlap. Who's running both? Who's running one or the other? Obviously, the nitrous guys will only be running PDRA. because they retained the Pro Nitrous division. So then you got PDRA VMP in May. So just a lot of stuff kind of crossing paths on that schedule.
I pulled up the entry list here on IHRA.com, and I don't know. I mean, I've seen a lot of people complaining that the website doesn't work well, or they haven't been able to register on the website or whatever. So I don't know if that's still a problem, but you know, as of right now, I mean, 15 classes, 50 drivers, you know, I mean, I don't know if that's just, I don't know if that's because the website's not working correctly or not, but Mountain Motor Pro Stock has 17 drivers in their class, but everything else is just like 1 driver, 2 driver, 4 driver, 2 driver, 3. Sleds have 7, 1, 1, 4, 1, 3, 3, or 3, 2, 1, 1.
That's
so
weird. I mean, it's weird that all the Pro Stock guys would get registered, but not the other classes.
That is strange. Yeah. So I don't know. And I think some of this goes back to, you know, why Scott was vocal on, we need to get some shit fixed, but
yeah, we'll see how it all shakes out. It's going to be interesting.
It really is, man. I don't know what to make of it.
On the back end, Doug Foley taking over the
as
reins.
COO,
Yeah,
I believe,
Doug
of
Foley
the
Jr.
IHRA, which we're all huge believers in Doug Foley Jr. He's a longtime friend of ours here at Drag Illustrated. I care a lot about that young man, and I think that he's a super hard worker, and he loves the sport of drag racing. He's passionate about what we do.
I don't know how good of a worker he is, but he's fun as shit.
he's a ton of fun, man. And then we got Michael Narks
pod right there.
Yeah, Michael Narks in the comments. Tulsa Raceway Park kicks their doors open this weekend with Test and Tune on Saturday. Plus, they got Cars, Coffee, and Drags on Sunday. Larry Larson is signed up for Drag Week. I think that's going to be really interesting. I talked to Larry a little bit in recent weeks, and I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do with the old Chevy S10. See if he can go out and maybe make history with a 5-second average. I know that he is very motivated to do so after not participating in Sick Week this year. So I think that's going to be a fun one to follow along with. And we need some more of those heavy hitters in drag and drive competition. We've talked about this a lot on the show, but
I couldn't believe they sent him home. Like, I get it. I mean, I don't get it, but I see the two different sides. But man, when you have a limited amount of cars that you could have in that class, and you have somebody showing up, more the merrier, right? But that's me.
Yeah, I mean, especially in a class like that, I think a strong case could be made for letting him run. I understand sticking to your guns. I talked to Tom Bailey about it after the fact, and Luke Nyhoff, both the guys with Sick, the magazine. It is a really tough situation. I mean, I get them wanting to stand on business. You know what I mean? That like, hey, we have a sign up process. This is a whole thing. But I also understand that a case can be made for like a legend exemption, an exception for somebody who is a significant part of the drag and drive community, and has really contributed a tremendous amount. I mean, to be honest, Larry Larson was probably the first name that I ever paid attention to when it comes to drag and drive competition. So I don't know if that's where that deal gets, is where there's a handful of these guys that kind of, I mean, part of me feels like they should get special treatment, right? Like the guys that have done the best should get.
If Penny Stewart showed up at a Saturday night circle track race and wasn't registered and had a ride, they're letting him race. I mean, they are.
They're going to let him race.
Yeah.
You know, it's
if Jordan shows up at a pickup game, they're going to let him in. You know, I mean, it's just how shit works.
it's hard to argue with that, man.
Dudes, you know, you really have.
No, there's no doubt, man. It's going to be an interesting. I got some exciting news that we're going to break on Monday about another member of the Drag Illustrated family doing something really exciting. I mean, it's going to be fun to talk about that next week on the show. There's a bunch of big races coming up, man. I mean, King of the South coming up in a little over, what is that, at the end of this month? Or is it next month?
Memorial weekend.
Yeah. Super excited about King of the South. I mean, 60 plus cars going at it on small tire, low prep, no prep type of deal.
When's King of the South?
Low prep. I think it's March. Let me pour up Corey Stamper's
Dude,
face.
you got that too. Like talking about the Carolinas, man. Whew. Busy March and April if you're in the Carolinas.
King of the South is. Do you, Mike? I think you make a pretty solid point. Yeah, May 21st through 24th. So we actually got a month. or a couple months. My bad.
Yeah.
I thought it was March 21st through 24th, but yeah, you're right. And then they have 50 confirmed entries right now, and it's a who's who. Larry Larson, Lyle Barnett, Bill Lutz, Ryan Mitchell, Kai Kelly. I mean, holy moly, Jason Horde, Scott Taylor, Russell Stone, fresh off his true 10-5 win at the World Series of Pro Mod. Rob Valden, great to see him. Lance Kniege, Taylor Strange. I mean, they've got some Jeff Miller. I see Peter Norton on this list. So I have a feeling he must be putting 28 10-5s on his purple Pro 275 Nova and going down to see what he can do. That car that was over his shoulder, I don't know if you noticed it during the show. I see Nick Taylor on here, Zach Jones, Ryan Martin, Adam Preston, Kyle Canyon. I mean, Ryan Hendrickson. I mean, there's a lot of hitters, dude. That's going to be a fantastic race. That is actually, I had every intention of going to that event. I know Craig's going to go. I think, JT, are you going to go with Craig?
Thinking about it.
Yeah, that's the weekend Max graduates high school. So I've got to be here, obviously. And then Streetcar Bragging Rights coming up at Rockingham, Swan Fest. You were talking, man, there's a lot of shit going on. We've been talking about this like era of the independent event. And I think we're seeing it in full force right now. I mean, some of the stuff that I'm most excited about in 2026 are not sanctioned series races. You know what I mean? They're these one-off independent productions. So exciting time, boys. Well, hey, huge shout out to both of you two.
I just saw Bo Butner post something about he's going to do something at Bradenton too. We're just going to have to get a house there.
We're working on it.
From December 29th to January 2nd, teaming up with Vic Alvarez at Bradenton for the first ever 5-day bracket event. Yeah.
Very exciting.
Better not have pro mods in this thing that you're about to say. No. We have to talk to Bo about this. But no,
I'm gonna have to get a Burromax entered in that.
You're gonna have to get it. You're gonna have to do it, man.
Oh, that's over
DJ John. DJ John in the house. Get the content house. We'll have to get a content house in Bradenton. This place. And hey, let's put him on the spot real quick. Blake, what are you doing this weekend?
Man, I'm getting married, dude.
Oh.
He's off
the market. He's off the market, ladies.
Hey, ladies. Yeah, quit texting him. Stay out of his DMs.
It's over.
It's over. Blake is officially off the market this Saturday. I'm excited, man. I'm fired up.
Oh, I am too, dude.
I'm wearing my cowboy hat.
Good. Yeah, we've got a couple people actually. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know, Robert, Pastor Robert, he's coming.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
He'll be wearing his Wyoming cowboy hat, so that'll be awesome.
Well, I'm going to be wearing my Texas cowboy hat.
There you go.
I had to apologize because I had a golf tournament this weekend and didn't realize it. So
you're not
I don't even know if I can play. So I don't know. We'll see.
If JT just shows up at your wedding, it's kind of, JT was talking about Michael Jordan dropping in a pickup game. JT dropping in at a wedding. You just let him in. That's how he's paid his dues. He's paid his dues.
Yeah,
the reception. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dude, it's well, and I think he's going out in a big way. Like he's going Power and Light immediately.
Yeah, we're going to Power and Light KC.
I know. I read those texts and I'm like, oh god, that sounds fun. I love Power and Light.
Yeah. Well, and I kind of need you to phone for me. I'm going to have my kids. You know what I mean? So I don't know that I'll be able to, party all night or anything.
Man, we're gonna have a really good time though. I mean, the bars we're wanting to hit. Buddy of mine knows the manager, and we're gonna get all the VIP treatment. So it's gonna be.
Oh, say less.
Yeah,
I'm in again. We're back, baby. If special treatment is involved, Wes is excited. I love special treatment. Love special treatment. Worked my whole life for that. So, well, Blake, we're really proud of you and happy for you.
Thank you, guys.
And I can't wait to see you this weekend. So,
yep.
Anyways, guys, hey, thank you all for joining us here. As you always do, we appreciate the love and the support. Remember to click like, click subscribe, help us spread the gospel of drag racing, and we will see you next week right here on the Drag Illustrated YouTube channel. Same time, same bat channel. Talk soon. Thanks, guys.
Ready, y'all.
See ya.